Holmes says dog years. There you go. All right, so let's get into it, guys. So obviously, there were reports coming out of training camp practice today that Jordan Love had a little bit of an injury. And I don't know about you guys, but I didn't hear anything about this coming out of the Jets game. And then lo and behold, they get back in the building today, get back on the practice field. Rob Demovsky tweeted out, quarterback Jordan Love practiced with his left thumb taped. He did everything but was talking to members of the athletic training staff after. Did not appear to be a high level of concern. He also said, you can see in the video from the very beginning of practice that Love has his left thumb taped from the start of today. And again, this isn't going to affect the way he throws the ball or anything. It was just kind of odd because the only thing I remember in that game, guys, was him getting sacked that one time. And don't get me wrong, was anybody else like holding their breath when he got sacked there? Because
yes.
There was bodies all around his ankles and everything. I was really, really nervous there. But I don't think we got anything to worry about here. Do you guys?
No, I don't think so. Was that the play that he hurt it on?
I don't know. That's the thing too. It could have been a separate play, right?
Yeah.
I assumed it was that play because that's the only one I remember him really taking any kind of contact. But you know how it is too. You could make a throw, recoil, put your hand against an offensive lineman, and you know what I mean, do something.
Yep. Bang it on someone's helmet or something. We've seen freak stuff like that before, and it was weird. That play, I remember that, right? Like he got caught in between, like, should I throw it or should I tuck and run? And he kind of got caught in the middle of the two decisions and just got popped real good.
Yeah, can even happen on a snap, Tim. You know what I mean? You get your thumb jammed up in there. That's brutal. But yeah, no, I'm not worried about that on the non-throwing hand.
Yeah,
no issues.
So, again, I'd seen a couple tweets coming out, and there was articles written about it and this and that. And you know how it is. It's Jordan Love got an injury. Read the article, and then you get in there, and it's like, okay, no big deal. So just want to put everybody's mind at ease.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
That's right, Coach. So let's jump into the rest of the injury report before we get into some of the camp updates here, as Wes Hodkiewicz always giving us the important information. Packers training camp practice number 13 returned. Marshawn Lloyd, gentlemen. Marshawn Lloyd's back in the house. We got running back Emmanuel Wilson back with the knee. We got offensive tackle Rasheed Walker with the groin. I want to say he was somewhat limited. I could be wrong there. We'll dive into all the details here in a minute. And cornerback Kamal Hadden with the hip. All right. New injury was cornerback Isaiah Dunn with the knee. Did not participate were Zane Anderson with the knee. You had running back Jalen White, I should say. Safety Xavier McKinney with the calf. Wide receiver Jaden Reed with the foot. Wide receiver Dontavion Wicks with the calf. Cornerback Nate Hobbs with the knee. Wide receiver Christian Watson with the knee. Defensive end Colin Oliver with the hammy. And, of course, offensive lineman John Williams, 7th-round pick there, I believe, with the back injury. So any of those that we're overly concerned with, or let's just kind of dive into the positive news, and that's the fact that we might just see Marshawn Lloyd this week against the Colts, right?
We're going to see Emmanuel Wilson too, hopefully. I'm like nothing like getting both of your banged up running backs back on the field at the same time. I'll take it. Yeah. Good to see Sheed back out there as well. Zane Anderson, we're not surprised by that given what happened on Saturday, but I'm going to focus on the positive here. Marshawn Lloyd back in the fold, Emmanuel Wilson back in the fold, Sheed Walker back in the fold, and Kamal Hadden back in the fold. That's good news right there.
Yeah, I'm going to second all that because I think it's going to be nice to see what Marshawn can just put a little bit more out there just to make sure that, what Matt sees is, what actually comes out on tape. Rasheed, good to have him back. Let's kind of see where the line's set up after that. I think Matt's going to kind of keep all of what he said he was probably going to keep all the starters off this game, which makes sense. You don't want them playing in Indy or whatever on a different field. Bring them back into Green Bay when you're at home, playing on the grass. So when you're getting used to, playing that season opener. So I'm totally fine with that. But, Kamal Hadden will get some more reps. And I still think that he might put Lloyd out there just depending on how that groin's feeling.
I think it's a great point, Emilio, because I didn't even think about it either. They got that turf there in Indianapolis. Don't get your starters out there on it. You had them play on Lambeau Saturday night, right? Don't put them on that turf for this week against the Colts, and then next week bring them back to Lambeau, let them get their last little bit of game time in before the season starts, and then you got 2 home games. So I like that, and I didn't even think about that. That's a great point. So again, they're gonna be a part of the joint practice. I imagine they probably have grass on that field. I hope they do. I can't imagine they're out there practicing on turf, but I could be wrong. But nonetheless, when you talk about, the saying that we always have, you can't make the club in the tub. When you look at some of these players, right, like returning Kamal Hadden, that's going to help him obviously try to give him a shot to make this 53. New injury, Isaiah Dunn, that's going to hurt him. That's the epitome of can't make the club in the tub right there, right? Jalen White, another one. You hate that he's missing time because it's going to pretty much knock him out of making the club for the most part. Offensive lineman John Williams, I feel like now his back's kind of against the wall, no pun intended with the back injury. I could see it be something where they try to start him on PUP, or maybe it's just a red shirt year, throw him on IR and you're done for the year type thing, because he's so far behind now. You know what I mean, Tim? Like he hasn't been able to practice at all. And, of course, Colin Oliver, that's when I feel like you're going to bend the camp rules a little bit and try to get him back as soon as possible, get him acclimated to the defense.
I agree. And Jeff Hafley echoed that in his presser the other day. They're looking forward to getting Colin Oliver out there on the field. The one we didn't talk about, and I don't want to, get anyone panicked here, but Tay Wicks with this calf, man, this has kind of been an off and on kind of thing. I'm wondering, how serious that really is. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because he's not on the field, and hopefully another week, like you said, great point, Emilio. We don't want you to get turf toe on top of a calf injury. Let's hold these guys out while we can, and come back from Indy and try and hit the ground running. Because, if you count that Seattle Seahawks final preseason game, we've got 3 home games in a row, so why risk it on a road trip, right? Let's get through joint practice. Like you said, Clayton, half the time joint practice is more interesting than the actual preseason game. It gets a little chippy out there. So I think we got to protect these guys. But, when I see Jaden Reed with the foot, and we're kind of wondering what's going on with that, and I see Tay Wicks keep popping up with this calf, you kind of got to scratch your head and wonder if these guys are going to be available long term,
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Anything else, Emilio? We good on the injuries?
Yeah, no, I think that's true, though. Hopefully we'll see anything, after Indy. But, yeah, that's kind of tough. And did you hear in Hafley's presser, he was saying that Colin Oliver is getting, he's in the D-line group or reps right now, and he's, learning D-line at the moment.
I missed that. What did he say?
He was just they were kind of asking him about him. He goes, they were asking if he's D-line linebacker. He goes, well, he is working with the D-line right now.